Alright everybody, Miss Ryan here. I'm here to talk to you about getting your footage into Photoshop for your rotoscoping project. Now right now I'm in the default Photoshop workspace and it will change when I import my footage. But if I want to get ahead of the game, I'm going to go over to Windows, Workspace, and go to Motion. This already sets me up to start my rotoscoping project by giving me the timeline. Your timeline in the layer window are where the magic is going to happen. Now, there's multiple ways to get footage into Photoshop. Way number one is to go to File, Import, and import video frames to layers. What this is going to do, it's going to make each individual frame, depending on how many frames the video was shot at, into a layer. You can then edit individual layers in order to do your rotoscoping. So if I come down here to Documents, select my footage here, and click Open, I'll get Rainbow Wheel of Death for a while. And then it will open and you will see what happens. Right now I have an Import Videos to Layers video open, and I can select from beginning to end or selected range only. Since we're actually not going to be importing our footage this way, I'm going to shorten it a little bit just to be a little bit kind on my computer. So yeah, let's shrink that down a little bit more. Immediately you can see why this will bog down your computer a little bit. You can look at my layers window and see that I have a layer for every individual frame. And depending where I am in the timeline, that frame is visible. So when I'm on frame 1 in the timeline, frame 1 is visible. When I'm on frame 2 in the timeline, frame 2 is visible. So you can actually add layers and make sure those are both on in a certain point in the timeline. Click on another place, make sure that layer is off, and add layers to your animation. But again, this really can bog down your computer. That's why video to frame isn't always the best way to make a rotoscope animation. So I'm going to go to File, New, and not save what I just did. And actually, instead of going File to New, I just wanted to start with a clean canvas there. I'll just open the footage. I didn't import the footage. I didn't do anything fancy. I'm not placing in the footage. I just went to File, Open. And it's literally that simple. Now you may need to turn all formats on. I have a Mac, so I don't have to do that. But on a PC, you may need to do that. And I have my footage. It's my favorite ballerina in Swan Lake. And I'm going to click Open. Now you may notice that my timeline is a little different. Photoshop has borrowed this from After Effects and Adobe Premiere. And now we can view footage exactly how we would view it in an editing program, which is really great. What these are unique kind of layers called video layers. I highly recommend you use this method for your rotoscoping project. I'm going to go into the timeline a little bit here so we can see my lovely ballerina. And I want you to look at the layer window on the right here. It says Video Group. I can add layers on top of that. Rather than messing around in my layer window, I'm going to go to Layer, And I'm going to go to New Video Layer. So Layer, Video Layers, New Blank Video Layer. Now I can do my rotoscoping on top, in this layer, on top of my footage, which is awesome. Make sure you have a tablet if for this rotoscoping project. Drawing with a mouse is always a bad idea. If you do not own a tablet, you can check them out from the lab during your regular lab hours. May have to convert a layer here. Oh, I see. They place them on the same timeline. So I gotta move this layer above. Need to expand my timeline so I can actually see what's going on. Let's move this down. I want this footage to be moved on top. I can just make a new video group, click and drag, and move that along to align with my footage. Alright, now we're cooking. So let me re-explain what I just did because I kind of did it and talked about it a little bit. I made a new layer, but I also made a new video group over here by clicking my little film button next to video group and going to new video group. To make a new video layer, I went to layer, video layers, video layers, video layers, video layers, new video, blank video layer. So just make sure you do that so your layer here is like its own footage on top of the layer below it. Now I can start to draw on that layer. Let me get a brush that's not as cray-cray. I want a nice simple brush, nothing too fancy. And now I can start blocking in the figure. You can do this several different ways. You can do it solid. Normally I don't do it the way I'm doing it right now. I will draw a ball and joint figure and then fill in my colors later, but for the sake of tutorial, this is a little easier. I can scoot over. Already lost my person there. Now if I really want to do this frame by frame, I need to zoom in here. There's going to be a little mountain picture at the bottom. There's little mountains and big mountains. To zoom in closer so you can see frame by frame, I want the big mountain. One of the advantages of working in the Photoshop and working in this timeline format is you get onion skins. You have to turn on onion skins, however. To turn on onion skins, normally there's a little button over here that looks like a little ball bouncing, but they may have hit it. There we go. See the little lines over here? That's where we can find our onion skins. And we want to enable onion skins. So those little lines right there, I clicked on them and I hit enabled onion skins. Now I can go frame by frame and see a little bit of what I colored underneath. So as I rotoscope, I know where my previous frame was. I can go frame by frame, rotoscoping my lovely ballerina. And guys, I'm being very quick and sloppy. Do not be this sloppy. I'm doing this for the sake of a video. This should be much more refined. And I should be much more zoomed in and careful and make sure I'm getting the proper contour and every little twitch of motion. And don't be afraid to exaggerate. That's one of the problems with rotoscoping is a lot of times you don't exaggerate enough to sell the motion because you're trying to copy exactly what's there and simplifying it when you should be exaggerating it. Sometimes you gotta lie to tell the truth. You kind of see my little rotoscope there. If I turn off my footage, oh, I got a little something going on. And that's how you rotoscope in Photoshop. In class, I'll show you how to export the video out. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.